Hey guys, it's J-Man. Day 7 of my 13 days of Halloween. We're over halfway there now. It's so close, it's round the corner. Yeah, I'd say I watched Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. Because he was kind of dead before. And now he doesn't. Now he's dead, then they brought him back. Yeah. Basically, rundown of what happened before. This is the culmination of the Jason versus Tommy Jarvis feud. Basically, so in part 4, Tommy was just a little kid, played by the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Feldman. And he got a little bit, messed up by the experience, really. To say the least. So in the next film was a few years later, because I think he was in his late teens, I think, in the next film. Or maybe early 20s. And he was in like a sort of mental institution, I think. There was a bunch of kids who've all got a little bit, who've all got a few problems. And he's kind of not set out to kill Jason, but he's learned martial arts and stuff in order to defend himself should Jason come again, and he survived that film. Now in part 6, he's actually fully decided that he has to be the one to kill Jason, because everyone else seems to die. He's the only one who survived. So yeah, he has to be the one to do it. Yeah. Third actor to be playing Tommy. I mean, that's just why. Corey Feldman is furious, but about that, by the way, the fact they've gone through so many actors for it. Yeah. While we're on the subject of part 5, though, if you were playing the drinking game, there's quite a lot of boob shots in that one, so you're going to be taking a lot of shots in that movie. You'll be very drunk. Yeah. New actor. Got a bit of a bum chin on him. That's alright. Batman chin, perhaps, maybe. Yeah. This must be at least 10 years after the, after part 4, when, Tommy was a little kid. Because he's a fully grown adult now. He's probably well into his 20s now. He's basically, him and May have basically escaped from the mental institution. They're still in there, by the way. He still needs a lot of counselling. Apparently he's been having hallucinations and shit. I mean, he's not a well man. Not at all a well man. Yeah, another thing is, I believe the last movie was friggin' pointless, I think. Because I believe Jason was, in effect, killed in part 4. And I believe, wasn't in part 5, was it not an imposter? And they took his mask off and it was just a normal dude under there. So, I mean, I don't even know why that was the point of that. But, I mean, yeah. So, in this film, he's gone to the grave of Jason. Yeah. And Jason's dead. He's dead. He's living up in heaven with Mum. They're having a whale of a time. He's not bothering any campers at the moment. He just wants a nice little existence with his mum in heaven. It's quite nice, really, isn't it? Until shit-faced Tommy comes along. Yeah, shit-faced Tommy comes along. He said, oh, you just got to see it and you'll know he's dead. No, I've got to destroy it. Don't know why you got to destroy it. I mean, he's resting. No one's getting hurt. Just chill the hell out, Tommy. And he's like, Jason belongs in hell. 3 movies away from that, sunshine. And I don't know why he kept the mask. He's walking around with the friggin' hockey mask in his hand, Like, why? Why? Do you really want a constant reminder of your torment? I mean, you're not a well dude. That's probably the reason that you're still a little bit, broken inside. Broken, yes. And then they start just digging up the grave. His friend's not happy about this, by the way. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't cool he brought his friend along. His friend's freaking out a little bit, really. You could have done that on your own. Is grave robbing okay? I don't care who's in the grave, you know. I mean, if it's someone good, let them rest. If it's someone evil, don't dig them up. They might go around killing people. Oh, way. Yeah, spoiler alert. People die in this movie. Yeah. So yeah. He opens it up, and there's old maggot face lying there, dead as a doorknob. And then he gets a pole from the side. He starts stabbing him with it. Yeah, you know, he's not content with the fact he's there without a pulse. You know, he's stabbing him anyway, and they plunges it right into Jason's heart. You know, and then decides to walk off. You know, leave it there. It's cool. And then thunderbolt. This is where the film gets completely ridiculous, by the way. I mean, if it didn't beforehand. Lightning strikes the pole, current goes through it, into Jason's heart, jump starts him, and he is now a walking electric zombie. I know. Still not the craziest movie in the series. Yeah. He's basically a Frankenstein monster now, right? I mean, all he's missing is 2 bolts in the side of his head, and that's it. Done. Boris Karloff. I feel bad for the actor, actually, walking around with maggots on his face, man. There's not enough money in the world to have maggots on my face. I just want to point out, he was dead. Tommy's a friggin' idiot. I think Jason was dead. You know, you had no reason to be going out there trying to kill him again. You know, you won. He is dead. But you've gone, dug him up, stubbed the pole in him. You've made it worse, Tommy. You're a bit of a friggin' moron. You know, you brought him back from the dead. And now, I bet you know, he's cracking up a little bit, you know. You know, surely the best way to try and get over something is to try and forget about it, you know, not go to the place it happened and stop messing around with dead bodies. Have they taught you nothing over the last 10 years? So he goes to the police. Not like the police is going to believe you. I mean, because most people don't even believe Jason exists. But he's running around, you know, going, Jason is it, and the guy's like, aren't you supposed to be in an institution? You know, get in the cell, son. So he puts Tommy in the cell. You know. And we'll leave it there for a bit. And then there's a couple in their Beetle. Beetle's the best, man. Love bag. And the very wise woman in the Beetle sees Jason walking down the road and says, we're reversing. I've seen enough horror movies to realise that anyone in a mask ain't friendly. She's a very clever woman, her. And her little boyfriend is like, nah, I got this, love. She's freaking out. I mean, what the hell? He's got a gun on him? How long has he had a gun on him for? You know, and he's going in there. I mean, I just want to point one out thing. To quote Kevin Smith, guns don't make people hard, dude. She's the smart one, not you. Yeah, so he goes out there. And long story short, they're both dead. She was all for just reversing out of there. She's more badass than he is. He got them killed. Bad Stephen. Bad Stephen. No, Stephen's later, I think. Stephen's later. It's not Stephen. I forgot one thing on my shots game. Don't have to add it to the shots game per se, but I've found another staple of the genre I forgot about. Creepy caretakers. There's a creepy caretaker running around. You know, that being said, though, he's not an evil caretaker, just a bit weird, you know. Yeah. And yeah, then we go to camp. Not Crystal Lake anymore. They've renamed it to try and avoid the scare factor on there. And the truest words anyone in this series have said. There's only one thing more scary than Jason Voorhees. A bus full of school children. That's stuff of nightmares, that is. Yeah. And then changes to another scene We got a bunch of paintball idiots. You've got a pair of mooks running around. You've got a fat one. They're like Laurel and Hardy or Bulk and Skull for the from the Power Rangers. You know, you've got a pair of idiots running around. Yeah, they didn't last very long in that game of paintball. Then there's a third guy, and I'm going to point this out now. Never have sex in movies. Don't be sexist in horror movies. You know why? He's there. She shouldn't be walking around with a paintball gun. She should be in the kitchen. A chicka chicka chew. Oh yeah. You get stabbed for that. Jason's behind you. And guess what? Jason picks up. This is the genius shot. Jason's holding this guy's arm, which he's just cut off, and just got it. There's a machete on the end of that. I'll have that. That's my weapon of choice, a machete. Yeah, so now he's walking around with a machete. And then, shock horror, there's another guy who's more stupid than those pair of mooks. Running around. He breaks a branch off a tree. Then he tries putting it back on. Tree sap isn't an adhesive. And then what? Breaks that in half as well. I mean, who is this idiot? I mean, I don't know. He didn't last long enough in the film, actually. I don't know if you even see this guy again. His role was a little pointless, really. Just a little bit of comedy in a fairly dark film, to be honest. Oh, first shot of the film. Yeah, that's right. Jason's walking around with machete. We'll play some music. Take a shot. Yep. And you can tell that sheriff is from New Jersey. Fucking A. Anyone who knows me knows I say fucking A lot because I watch too much Kevin Smith movies. Pointing that one out right there. And Deputy's got himself a little laser scope which he got mail ordered. He's a fucking child, isn't he, man? It's like, I'm going to get me a laser scope on my pistol. You know, so my point blank range, and I still need to have a shot on. Red dot means pain. Why, you predator, mate? Yeah. And then they're like, cover up, like, open the grave up, see if he's in there. And then the caretaker is like, does he think I'm a fart head? And then it changes the scene. All the little school kiddies are in camp, and they're all like, yeah, he's a fart head. About 100 kids just said so. Fucking yeah. Funniest thing the sheriff said, though, he's like, if it were up to me, you'll be wearing your balls as earrings. Imagine walking around with balls hanging from your earrings. Would you have to put a Speedo on sideways and hang it over your ears? And to cover them up. Sorry, that's just where my mind goes with that one. Yeah. And then, my mistake. Creepy caretaker walking around with a bottle of whiskey in his hand. Do not have sex. Do not be sexist. Do not get drunk in a horror movie. Stab, stab. Yeah, you get stabbed for that. No drinking. No debauchery. No sexism. Basically, you don't do anything that's supposedly wrong. Yeah. Sexism is wrong, by the way. That's not supposedly. Sexism is wrong. Unless women are being sexist to men, I get that. Men are idiots. Excuse me. And then you've got a new couple. This is Stephen. Stephen's moment to shine. And she's like, they're in the grass. I believe he's just proposed to her. She's checking out her new ring. And then he hears a noise and he's like, I'm the man. It's an American film. He doesn't sound like that, but I like to portray men this way. I'm the man. You stay here, my love. I'll go out and I'll confront him. And then wise woman says, don't do it, Stephen. Stephen, don't. Stephen should have listened to her. No, he's like, he goes up there, walks around, don't see nothing, because, you know, Jason doesn't strike straight away. He's cold, he's calculated, he's clever. So then the man sighs, fuck this shit, I'm out, love. So they hop on their motorcycle. No, she's riding pillion, is it called? Holding round him, sat behind him, you know, holding on to him. And then Jason finds this moment for him to shine, gets his machete out. Double kill. Goes through him into her. If he was a fat bloke, she would have lived. I'm doing this to save you women out there. Oh no, I'm a hero of sorts. For being fat, I save women's lives if they're standing behind me and a man in front of me is trying to stab her. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm like Batman. Yeah. Then we go back to camp and the kids in the kids' cabin. That fucking hamster wheel, man, was driving me nuts. I wasn't sleeping in that room. If I was sleeping in the room, I would have killed the hamster myself. The squeaky wheel. That bloody wheel needs fucking oiling. I wasn't even sleeping in there and it was pissing me off. I just wanted to point out one thing. Next bit, they go to the counsellor's room. The two girls, and one of them, is it Cece or something, introduce her friend to a game called Camp Blood. Very clever game this. I don't think I have a set of playing cards actually, I'm afraid. No, don't believe I have one. Should have done that. But here's how you play Camp Blood. You might have to work out. Jason is a Jack. I don't know why Jason's a Jack. Jason should be a Joker. I like Jason being a Joker. That's just my spin on it. You know. All the picture cards represent camp counsellors. I'm guessing the numbers are children. I don't know. Numbers are irrelevant. Shuffle Jason into the deck. Jason could be anywhere. We don't know where Jason is. Yeah. Split the deck into multiple groups. Each group represents a cabin. Yeah, and the object of the game is to figure out which cabin Jason is in. That's all she gave me, actually. You're onto something there, love. I quite like that game. You know, I might Google it later and I'm going to have a game of it. I might do a video of me playing Camp Blood. But there you go, guys. That's all I have on Camp Blood for now. Feel free to gamble it. Strip Camp Blood. I've invented that now. Any card game, you can invent a strip version for it, right? Top trumps. Tops. Trumps. I'll play that. Where's he gone? Where's the gentleman whose name escapes me? Fuckboy. You know, where's he gone? Oh no, somewhere they go bump in the night. Way hey hey, it's a bumpy caravan. We know what a bumpy caravan means. Someone's having it off in there. Bumping was a little unnecessary. It's not like she was on a friggin' pogo stick. That's not a pun. No boob shot. Do not take a shot. This film directed it all very well, and do not take a shot in that one. I have a lot of respect for this film. And then she's like, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. He's dying in there. I mean, I think she's like till the end of the song. What's she listening to? Meatloaf? What is it, like the Outer Mongolian national anthem with 37 verses? I mean, he's dying in there, you know? And then the funniest bit here, Jason cuts the plug so all the power goes out in there. And the music stops. And then he's like, oh! And she's like, you didn't already, did you? I thought that was the end of the song. Yeah, it was, buddy. Yeah, it was. It wasn't. 'Twas Jason. Yeah. No, the power's out, my friend. And rule number 1: if you're in a car and you're getting freaky, you hear a noise outside the car, stay in the car. Whatever is in the car is 1,000,000 times better than what is outside of the car. He decides to go out and have a look. Leaves the door open. Wanders around. Nothing here. Power's been cut. I say we get out of here. You know, hightails it into the car. It's not working. Not working. You know. She seems to know how to start it. See? The reverse sexism in this film. Men are the idiots. Woman's just like, no, it's easy. Pushes one button. That's not a car. There we go. It's a bit chuggy. Yeah. So now they're on their way. Everything's good. She falls back, you know. She really should have sat down. She was rolling around on that floor. You know, she didn't get a moment's peace. So she goes, and then toilet door opens. Jason sucks her into the toilet. She's screaming her head off. Don't know what's going through his mind, but he thinks she's having a bit of fun in there. He's like, maybe I should join you in there when I'm done driving, getting away from whatever creepiness is out there. But I know what my mind is on. Yeah, she's dead. Little bit of classic rock references in there. Turns on the radio. I wanna rock. There's your Twisted Sister reference today. And then we got a nice bit of Alice Cooper. The man, the myth, the legend. Alice Cooper does the soundtrack for this movie. You get a little bit of a song called Teenage Frankenstein. Fucking tune, I would like to add. Fucking tune. I love it then he shouts, "Are you taking a dump?" That's just a very funny line. You know, I find poo rather amusing. Then Jason has a crack at him. Car skids off to its side. That means the car's on fire, you know. And then Jason's just standing on this car, looking triumphant, like the Justice League at the end of the movie when they stand there looking proud of themselves. Batman, cape fluttering in the wind. I've played enough Grand Theft Auto in my time to know if the car is on its side or upside down and it sets on fire, you should get off that, Jason. Car didn't blow up. Scientific inaccuracy. Everyone knows Grand Theft Auto is the most scientifically accurate video game in the universe. Yeah. It really takes the edge off being sophisticated with my pinky up if I burp at the end of it, doesn't it? My knee hit the table, my bad. And then we go back to the sheriff's office with little Tommy. Is he still in his cell? Or is he? I think Tommy's escaped by now. And he phones up the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's daughter's on the phone. Where's the sheriff? Draining the lizard. You're talking about your dad's penis and referring it to a lizard, love. Think it through. Yeah, the legend is true. Aquabats reference for me, even though this was from film. The legend is true, and it's you. You are the legend. The legend is true. The Aquabats. Wasn't an Aquabats reference. Film came out about 7 years before they even formed, and about 20 years before the song was released. 22 years before the song. Yeah. I know, but she sat there. Let me see if I can. She sat on her chair in the back. I'm gonna put my feet up like that. When she's there fiddling around like that, you know she's falling off that chair. Phone rings. She's on her ass. You knew it was coming. That's good directing. You can see it coming. It's like that bit in the in-betweeners when they throw the frisbee and then they all go, and then you see the trajectory of the frisbee, and then you see the girl in the wheelchair, and everyone's like, no, and then the inevitable finally happens. It's good directing, that. And then, yeah, Tommy's on the other other end of the phone, and she says to him, "I'll be with you in half an hour. Hopefully Dad doesn't catch you in time." Half an hour? Half an hour? He could have scoured the place twice. He's in a friggin' car. No, she's in the friggin' sports car. She can get there in bed in half an hour. I mean, he made it there on foot. You know, in about 12 minutes. What's taking you so long, love? Need to have a shave beforehand. Oi, 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 oi. And then the police, is it fine first body, put it in a body bag? Whenever I see a body bag, I think of Clerks. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm always expecting a body bag, flat, a little bit of a nose bump, feet bump. If you've seen Clerks, there's a boner in the middle of it. Juvenility, I love it. Yeah. Just randomly, oh look, a leg on the floor, just a dismembered leg, and then a dismembered hand. Dismembered hand, it's because it's all Jason needs. Yeah. And then the policeman says, Happy Friday the 13th. Not on the list, but I'm going to say take a shot for cheesiness. Did you really have to say that in the film, mate? Was it really necessary? Did you absolutely have to? I mean, alright, go on then. You can say it. I've moved away now. Where am I? Yeah. But yeah. One of the counsellors, she's looking out the window going, who's out there? Who's out there? And then this is good directing. Jason, he grabs her, pulls her out. Look, her slippers fall off, and they're just there on the doorstep. You know, on the floor next to the window. It was like after he's pulled her out. I don't know why they had to have a shot of the slippers falling off. That's just funny. I don't even know why. You always leave your boots in the window after you jump out of a window, right? It's the way the game is played. Also notice there's 2 hamsters in that cage. That's in the children's room. What if kids saw the hamsters? I'm taking it those hamsters are the same gender, right? I believe 2 women hamsters tend to fight, actually, so you need 2 male hamsters because male hamsters are a bit more friendly. Let me say, does anyone ever see hamsters getting it on? Because it seems you put 2 hamsters in a cage, they ignore each other, they got their bed, she's got her bed. 3 weeks later, she's giving birth. What happened in the middle? I mean, it's just like magically appears. It's like when you put a Pokemon in the daycare centre and there's an egg there somehow. The guy's like, I don't know how that got there. I think somebody plants them in the night. Shut up, you tart. I mean, and then so sheriff's daughter picks up Tommy in the car and sees the sheriff, so she's like, duck. Don't know why his face needs to be in your crotch, love. She's all like, that's what I want, you dirty slut. And then he gets a face full of crotch, and I don't know why that shot of her crotch. Don't know why it was necessary, by the way. I was just thinking The Breakfast Club. Solid movie, The Breakfast Club, actually. That's all I was thinking. And then, like, the policeman's like, I saw him. The whole enchilada. I fancy enchiladas now. Very nice. Actually, I had one yesterday. It was scrumdiddlyumptious, as they say. And then Tommy, in the lap of the voluptuous blonde, decides to look up and say to her, the madman from the mental institution decides to go up and say, don't do anything crazy. Well, you can fucking talk. That being said, he's not done anything crazy. He's the sanest out of a lot of them. As the tick would say, he's gone sane in a crazy world. He's just the only one sane enough to believe everything. Now get your head out of there, you dirty pig. Basically, though, they found her. The policeman stopped her. If I was the sheriff, I saw my daughter pull up when she should have been at the station, and she is grounded, I would like to point out. And then the man who I'm trying to arrest, his head comes out from her crotch. I'm shooting. I mean, I don't have a daughter, but if I had one, I'd be shooting that man. I think any father would. You know, he had a gun. I mean, I'm not saying it's a calculated move, but if I'm holding a gun towards him and I see a head, I'm going out of instinct. You know? Even though she put his head there, but I mean, still, you don't know that. It's always the man's fault. Always the man's fault. That doesn't hold up in court. Yeah. So now. And then Tommy's like, oh shit. Oh shit indeed, Tommy. I would have shot him, but no, they put him back in the cell. Yeah. When the little girl was scared because I think she thought she saw Jason out the window, the counsellor says to her, just say your prayers. I'm just singing the 80s. someone just got Hulk Hogan on the TV. Take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother. Yeah. I was just thinking, you know, it's like the 80s, man. When someone says take your prayers, surely someone's thinking Hulk Hogan, right? Maybe not. Maybe that's just me. And I don't know why the machete was next to the little girl's bed. Did Jason just go up to her and say, "Little girl, can you look after my sharp blade covered in blood for me, please? Thank you. I'll come along later and collect it." What? Now, health and safety, do not give small children fucking machetes. I mean, I say sharp objects in general, but machetes especially. You can have a head off with that. I've seen it happen. In the movies, I want to point out. Yeah. So, yeah. And then, 5 minutes later, guess what happens? The machete's gone from the little girl's room. I take it Jason just came back for it. I don't know why he left it there in the first place. But I was thinking it's gone. It'd be funny if little Nancy, the little girl, was just running around with this machete. Is this yours? I found this in my room. Whoopsie. Oh, that's very unfortunate, that, isn't it? That'd be hilarious if that had happened. I want to question. I forgot to look out for actually no animals were harmed in this film, but I think that policeman squished a real bug. But actually, apparently invertebrates have no rights. Hence, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. I don't think that's cool, man. I'm sure that's not cool. I mean, I'm not a stickler for animal rights per se, but I mean, surely they have rights too, right? I know that bugs are gross, but I mean, surely they have rights. Well, you can't kill a dog. I mean, a dog is better than a bug, I suppose. But whatever, people have ant farms, each to their own. Knocked the table again. But then, Sheriff's daughter decides to bust Tommy out, and she gets the deputy and points his gun at his face. And then she's like, otherwise you'll be holding that funny red nose of yours. Yeah, send the clown in there. They make their getaway to kill Jason Voorhees. Like you can do that. And okay, this is, again, the film gets a little bit crazy for me here. Tommy says to her, the only way to kill Jason is to take him back to his final resting place, which was the lake he drowned in originally. Who told you that bit of information? I mean, you know, yeah, he did die there once. So I suppose he could die there. And why does it have to be that specific place? Could you just drown him in any lake? What's the significance of his final resting place, you know? Did God leave a transcript or something, you know, lying around in Tibet or whatever, and you stumbled upon it in a pyramid? Or just make it up on the spot? You could have just buried him in any lake, you know, but you know, it has to be that one specific lake. Whatever. I'm going to question one thing here. Jason is like all evil. Jason has zero good in him. But he's there, standing over the bed of the little girl, shitting herself. And he let her live, which is nice. But he showed weakness there. I mean, that's not very Jason. Even surely Jason just kill anything that moves, right? I suppose he was distracted, so would he have killed the little girl if he'd have had a shot? I don't know. Though I think he kind of sees the innocence there, though. He did hesitate. So I think his beef is with the older counsellors. Maybe he saw himself in the little girl when he was young. I don't know. Yeah. When did Jason get a utility belt? I mean, he seems to have a variation of knives now, and throwing knives. And he throws one, gets one guy in the head, perfect aim. When did he have a crash course in throwing them? I mean, any idiot can brandish a machete, yeah? But when did he have a crash course in throwing knives? Did he go to freaking police school or something? Or has he been playing too much Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty or something? You know, who taught him to do that? Yeah. And then little Nancy again, she's running around, she gets fined a policeman, and she's like, what are you running from? The scary man. What scary man? The one behind you, good sir. I wouldn't say it was many gratuitous deaths in this film, actually. You know, I'll give this film credit where credit is due. Not too much gratuitousness in this film. Yeah. I love it, the kids are all hiding on the bed. One kid saves the hamsters, brings the hamsters, puts them under the bed. One kid saves the dolly, yeah. Make sure the dolly lives. I mean, I don't know if Jason's too concerned with dollies, but no one wants a hole in Dolly. We've got to take her to the dolly hospital. You know. And then Jason comes face to face with the sheriff, and the sheriff shoots him with a shotgun a few times, then gets the pistol on him a few times, and he just shot him, gets up, shot him, gets up. I mean, I know he's invincible, but I mean, he took him shots with a shotgun. He's not even knocked out. I mean, what did that lightning do to him? And those kids are shit at hiding, by the way. When the blonde chick, sheriff's daughter, comes in to save the kid, they all scream their tits off, going, what the hell is that? Oh, you'll be shit if Jason came in. He'll know exactly where you are. You're rubbish at this. You know. And then, sheriff is beating Jason in the face with a rock. Well, I know Jason's supposed to be indestructible, but is his mask? Beats him. They don't like showing too much of Jason's face. There's usually a kind of a bit of a way around it, isn't there? But I mean, sure, there's not even a crack in that mask, is there? I mean, he's beating him with a friggin' rock bigger than my head. Still nothing. Alright, and then to get Jason, this is the master plan. In order to drown Jason, Tommy gets in a boat with his big old chain. I think he nicked it from around Hercules' neck. And a huge rock, and he ties the rock he ties the chain around the rock, makes the other end into a little noose, and floats above the water. He's like, come and get me, Jason. He wasn't very clever, because by the time Jason walked into the water and got to a level, his head was below. You need a head to noose that. You don't know where his head is because the water's black. You know, it's dark outside. So Jason jumps in the boat. I mean, he manages to get him off, and you know, goes back in the water. And then this is the clever part. Makes a ring of gasoline, lights it, fire water. Very clever. That I do appreciate that. So then Jason, you know, if he's gonna kill him, he's got to get in that circle, and then he's ready for him. So Jason comes in. They have a little wrestle. They tussle a little bit, and then he manages to get that noose over his neck. Jason breaks the boat, and they all fall in. Jason's got hold of him. He manages to wriggle free. Drowns, floats up to the top. Girl comes in to save him. I knew this would happen. Don't do some crazy shit, love. He told you her. She dives into the water. Jason's got round of her ankle. You know? But this is the clever. She manages to turn the speedboat on, and then the turbine's rolling. Jason swims up to the turbine. Yeah, slices his throat. Still in one piece. He doesn't lost his head. If he lost his... Actually, that was a bad move. If he had have lost his head, you know, the noose would have come loose and he would have floated up. That being said, how much use is Jason minus a head? I mean, he's technically a zombie, right? So I mean, it's like... I'm not dead, yay! So yeah, so I don't know, maybe Jason could live without a head, I suppose. I don't know. When I write my own Friday the 13th movie, I'll have a scene of him running around like a headless chicken. But yeah. But guess what? Everyone lives happily ever after. She gives him a bit of mouth to mouth. Water comes up. He's alive. All the children cheer. Yay! But then, just before the credits roll, shot of Jason. And then, more Alice Cooper. Song tune, I might point out. He's back. Brackets. The man behind the mask. I just want to point out now, that's a bloody good tune, that is. Yeah. Thank you, Alice Cooper. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. Tune. Now then, questions I have for this movie. Question number 1. Is Tommy still the same character in the previous movies. I mean, he's probably a little bit more broken inside than he was in the previous movie, and definitely in the movie before that. But I mean, I'll tell you the progression of Tommy. In the first film, Tommy, obsessed with horror movies. You know, he loves horror masks. You know, I mean, kid's a kid, right? Then obviously he goes a little bit crazy, you know, that's understandable. You know, he's a little kid dealing with a friggin' psycho killer zombie person. Next film, he's lost a bit of that emotion, but maybe that's just because he's completely broken, isn't he? I mean, his sister was nearly killed by something, which sister wasn't mentioned again, actually, in these films. As he's not, he's still in the middle film. He's still wearing. He's still got a collection of horror masks, so it's just a little reference to who he used to be. In this, and another thing is, in the middle film, he was quite. I think he was very much a good guy, though. I mean, he had a bit of an anger problem, but he was all, he was quite in his own world of Jason. He's very paranoid, and he's convinced Jason's always over his shoulder. Maybe this is because he's had a lot of counselling in that time, but it seems, I know it's a different actor, but it seems in this film, Tommy's like a whole different person to who he was in the last film. Now, he's not no character. He hasn't even mentioned horror movies, which was like his obsession before. Even when he was broken, he still had a collection of masks, etc. But now it seems like his one goal in life, the one thing he cares about is killing Jason. And I feel like, I mean, I get that. I mean, I want a revenge quest. I like a good old revenge quest. But I mean, has that stripped away everything he is as a person, or have they just creatively decided to not really go too much into it? That's just my first question. You know, I mean, take out of that what you will. I mean, I am back to the original Tommy, Corey Feldman, sorry. Everyone knows Corey Feldman, right? Every 80s movie ever, he was the kid. Every 80s movie with a kid in it, it was him. If it wasn't him, it was the kid's friend. Referencing E.T. there, he was even in that. He just wasn't the main kid, right? Goonies, he wasn't the main kid, but he was one of the kids. So, as an adult, Corey Feldman has looked back at these films, mainly 4, 5, and 6, and said they dropped the ball. I think mainly in the second film, because the whole thing was Jason versus Tommy, and that was like, we had our good guy, we had a recurring good guy. I mean, it's a different actor every time, but it was a recurring character. But then they dropped him after this film. That was I believe that was the last time we saw Tommy. Because I believe in Tommy's head, he thought his job was done. But obviously, there's other movies after this. So surely if you saw on the news that Jason was still alive, you know, you would want to say, well, my job isn't done. I thought it was, but it's not. So maybe he would actually think, I've got to go back to Camp Crystal Lake and, you know, sort some shit out. Yeah, but sadly that did not happen. I think they just dropped the character in the end. I mean, I think it's probably because they dropped the ball and they just thought it weren't very good in the last film. You know, so we're not going to do it. Which I think Corey Feldman's a little bit pissed about that, because that's not the way this film. I'm saying this, Corey. I think the guy who made the first film has procured the rights to it back, and he wants to make a reboot. Yeah, Corey Feldman, you should help him write it. Doubt you're seeing this. Big fan, by the way. If you do see this, someone share this on his Twitter page. He should write it. He could play the adult Tommy. You know, I mean, bear in mind, Jason could have died years ago, so this film can still be the first film, but you could just say, when I was a kid, like 40 years, when I was a kid, like 30 years ago, this guy tried to kill me, but I'm back. Corey, you should go to the gym, turn yourself into Batman. You know, you should actually get a bat suit or something. The The Feldman. Feldman. So you've even got a theme tune. Yeah, you should like turn yourself into kind of what happened in part 5 where you learn karate and stuff, but go into that in further detail because they dropped the karate as well. He learned karate in this film. He doesn't have any fighting ability whatsoever. You are a killing machine. Whatever. So yeah, you should turn yourself into Batman, and you should go out there and you should fight Jason. Batman v Jason. Or just make that movie. Batman fought Dracula once, he could fight Jason, you know. Batman into horror. Quite like that. So the problem, that's my problem. My problem is with the continuity in the films. You know, doing the Halloween music by the way there, sorry, the content, because it's like he's a completely different character every film. And then you drop him. Like, surely if Jason is still out there, your work isn't done. You know, you have to go out there and you've got to kill him, right? You can't rest until he's dead, you know. Your whole life at that stage was dedicated to that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't blame Corey Feldman. They probably did. Yeah. Well, I think I've drawn to the end of this video. It's a short one again. That's alright. I mean, I'm up too late. I'm behind. I was going to do it earlier, but my Wi-Fi crapped out. Getting a new router though, so all is well. Yeah, so I'm going to play the video game. I haven't got the video game, but when I do get the video game, I might do some videos on that because, you know, it looks good. The game came out like a friggin' year ago, you know. Got to sort my shit out. A film that didn't make my cut was Part 9. Some people don't consider it the best in the series because it's very out there and it's very different. But I think Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. So basically, in the previous film, Jason is killed, and apparently he's killed for good. So his body is dead, but his spirit is still wandering around, and it's a completely different take on the genre. It's not him running around with a machete. He's running around possessing people and using other people's bodies. That's just so far out, man. I mean, some people are like, oh, I miss the old one. Dude, you've got like 8 movies before this. And then you got like Jason X, Freddy v Jason, and the shitty reboot. You know, so you got 8, 9, 10, 11 movies. You know, I mean, one of them has to be out there and one of them has to be different. But I mean, some people might not consider these the best series of movies ever. Fair play. But I love the fact it can go in so many directions. Because you've got your traditional, you've got first movie, Jason's mum did it. Jason had little to do with that film. Second movie, Jason is now... Second movie is a continuation of the first movie, but Jason's doing it. Come the third film, it's a little bit more, give him a hockey mask, it's a bit more gratuitous, you know, and it's kind of the Jason we all know and love. Fourth movie added the variable of Tommy. So fourth movie, fifth movie, and sixth movie, you know, we have a protagonist for our antagonist. We've got a good guy via bad guy. You know, that's something we did. I mean, we have good guys, we don't have a recurring good guy, and their goal is usually to survive, and they don't have a personal grudge. So yeah, then there's that. Jason Takes Manhattan. I mean, it's not like, you know, so out there, but it's just probably the only one that's not set in Camp Crystal Lake, you know. You know, it's just like, you know, Jason, don't matter where Jason is, he'll kill you anywhere, you know. He'll follow you on a friggin' boat and take you to the sea. Number 9, he's in freaking hell. Number 10, he's in the future and in space. Jason X is probably a little bit too out there. I don't know if you needed to add a sci-fi variable to this, supernatural, horror, thriller, mystery, but I mean, why the heck not? Why the heck not? And then his mask is fused with his face. Now his mask is his face. I mean, I suppose they don't like taking his mask off. Why not make the mask his face, you know? And then if you want to add an extra variable to that, why not add Freddy Krueger to the mix?
I mean, this film goes in so many different directions, man. You can do anything with it. No, I'm just going to point out no one takes this film series very seriously these days. There's two things you can do with it. One, get the original director back, which might happen. Get Corey Feldman back. Don't know if that will happen. Write the best possible movie you could do. Make it creepy. Make it a good mystery. Add a whodunit element. Even though we know Jason Voorhees did it, but, you know, you can do all sorts with it. You know, make it scary, make it gritty. Don't necessarily make it sex-filled like all of the other ones are, especially the reboot. But make it as violence-filled, make it gratuitous. Make the best damn Friday the 13th movie you could do. Or, there's my version. When a horror character, I have a specific one in mind, has got bits of stale, we need to add another variable into it, or another character into it. So my pitch, if we really want to get as silly as possible with this genre, Friday the 13th, Bride of Jason. Yeah, that's it, guys. Bride of Jason, that's my pitch. Yeah, I'll just go completely off the walls. No, give him a wife. He's lonely. His mum's dead. Maybe we could have him finally lose his mum, and maybe we could have him find peace. Stop wanting to kill people, but then, plot twist, there's a young, sexy Jason who wants him to kill all the young counsellors, and then we can start all over again with a whole different story. I'm a freaking genius. I mean, the film would probably be a comedy horror. You know, it would be the silliest. And I'd probably make the blood gratuitous. You know, throw some boobies in there because it's a staple of the genre. That being said, I would have the main character being a black guy, and then the black guy won't die first. Breaking the system. Yeah. Only thing I'll say about these movies is the main character is usually a woman, so usually the woman does survive. The films aren't sexist. You know, if you're sexist, you die. So, I mean, yeah, that's not a problem. But yeah, remove the racism element. If the film's going to take itself seriously, have them write the best possible serious mystery version they can do. And I think you need a hero protagonist, so you need a Tommy character. If you want to make the film silly as possible, have a Bride of Jason, have a woman Jason running around, and Kevin Bacon starting a movement to have equal amounts of male and female nudity in films. Jason running around cutting titties off, she could go around cutting wangs off with a machete. There is your movie. I'm like freaking Steven Spielberg. I'm a freaking genius. I make myself cry, man. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever written in my life, and I've wrote a lot of crap. If anything in my life comes to fruition, I hope it's that. Friday the 13th, big the 13th, because it's the 13th movie, Bride of Jason. No tits or dicks are safe. I'm a visionary. That is all from the J-Man. I can confirm to you that tomorrow, on the 8th day of Halloween, which will be the 26th, I believe, I will be watching, my list is on my phone by the way, I'll be watching Halloween. Yeah, the 26th will be day 8. I'll be watching Halloween. You might be asking why I'm not watching Halloween on Halloween. It's too on the nose, innit? A little bit on the nose. So yeah, I'll be watching Halloween tomorrow. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very fun indeed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I said it yesterday and I survived, so I'll say it again. I'll be right back. J-Man out.